So Ben's gonna hoist me up with the main halyard, but I don't really have another halyard to use as a backup because the jib halyard's holding up the furler and everything. So I am gonna use the jib halyard, but I'm gonna tie one of these pressic knots on it. So you just wrap it through itself a few times. And you just have to make sure the wraps stay on the inside of each other. And the more wraps you do, the more friction you'll get. So it's 3 wraps. And then you can push it up and down, and then if you slip, it would bind.
Well, before Zach goes up the mast, he wanted to replace the halyard that we're going to be taking him up with, because the old one's pretty, I don't know, doesn't seem very trustworthy. So yeah, just taped the new halyard to the old halyard, and going to go ahead and swap that before we send Zach up.
Alright, I just got up here at the top, and these mast steps are working pretty good. They're kind of loose, so I'm not putting a ton of weight on them. But anyways, yeah, this is the plate I was talking about. And these screws are just kind of seized up in it, so I need to try to get those out. And I should be able to take this whole piece down. So there was just one screw in it. I thought there was more, but I'll take this back down and see if I can get the stuff mounted to it I need to. Okay, so I'm going back up the mast again. I've got this little plate built out with a new light, and this is the bracket for the wind sensor. So taking this back up, also going to be installing a new windex. And yeah, should be fun. I got everything installed up here. I got the windex and the new light and wind sensor. Also got a new antenna installed. Yeah. So I also installed a new topping lift because the old one was just really worn down. Anyways, the old one was just really old and worn down, and it was just binded up at the top, so I cut it free and just ran a new line for it. So I'm in the process of replacing this old drain hose for the sink. That's it back there. It came up and attached to the plumbing up here, but it was just like really badly corroded. It was leaking, and trying to twist it off, I just broke it by hand, so it really needs to be replaced. I was having a hard time getting way back up in there. It's a pretty far reach in there, and I just couldn't really get a good grip on the hose to get it off of the old through hole. So yeah, up here in this little dry storage, it's right above it, I cut a little access hole, and I'll clean it up and just make it like a little hatch. That way, if we ever need to access that again, we can easily reach to it and tighten it up or change it out or do whatever we need to do. Alright, and there's the new hose installed. So next in this area I want to clean this all up and paint this bottom board. It's got just a little bit of mildew growing on it just because that hose has been leaking for a long time. And yeah, I just want this to be a much cleaner, less stinky area. Alright, so here's the new mounting plate for these B&G multifunction displays. And so yeah, I cut this out of some 1/4 inch starboard. And now I'm gonna stick it in place with some 3M VHB tape. Once I have it stuck in place, I'm going to come back with the flush cut bit on the router and just clean up these edges from the old holes. And then I can go ahead and get these mounted. And after it's stuck in place, I'm going to come back and put a bead of sealant around the whole thing, because it'll have a little bit of a standoff because of the VHB tape. But yeah, I tried to kind of match the contours of the top there and also the side of the companionway. I figured that would look better than just trying to, you know, do something square or round. So I think it'll look pretty good, and I think I can rotate that piece. That's the autopilot control. I think I can rotate it so that it's kind of at the same angle. Okay, so here's my current setup for the instruments. So yeah, in here I installed a little Blue Sea fuse panel, and that's the back side of the B&G display. And yeah, I don't really have anywhere to mount this backbone for the NMEA 2000 network, so it's just kind of laying down in there, but I think it should be fine. And then I was able to sneak in. If you look over there in that corner, that's the wireless Bluetooth receiver for the wind sensor. So it's kind of tight in here, but I think I'll be able to fit everything that I need. Should leave me room to mount the other B&G display, and I should have plenty of room to tie more stuff into this little backbone. And I'm just going through and I'm cleaning up all this wiring. I exposed a panel back here. You can see all this wiring. I've just been kind of clearing out old wires, and I need to get a new VHF and I'll wire that into that little fuse panel as well. I ordered the other display, so once I get that, I'll be able to fill that hole in. Yeah, I think this little panel turned out pretty good.